Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and welcome to the first round of the bracket stage for this 2023 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament. Today, we're bringing you two separate 1v1s on the same seed. Up top, we have the admin battle, ArchfieldMonk versus Cyberdark86, and down at the bottom, we'll have TristalMTG facing off against Destiny of a Dragon Warrior. Hi, everybody. I'm DK9146. Alongside me in the booth today is going to be Aaron TU2. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How are you, sir?
Loving it. This both these matches should be great. Honestly, all the way around, it should be really good action towards seeing who finishes first and takes a win in the first of best of three in both of these matchups.
Right. This is not do or die, but you don't have a whole lot of leeway, so you can lose one and still come back. And I mean, we've seen in the brackets here, we're looking at these people. Cyberdark and Destiny were not in brackets last year. But ArchfieldMonk and Tristal both were, and both lost in the round of 24. So I have a feeling that might be just a little bit in the corner of their minds here, trying to get out to a good start in this first game.
Yeah, I think most people that do bracket races or anything like this in best of threes know getting out to a W in that first one really takes a lot of pressure off of you as you move into that next race.
Absolutely, and just the level of play that our players had here in the group stages. I think Archfield was 5-1, Cyberdark was 3-3, kind of a weird tiebreaker. But Archfield, or those races Cyberdark lost, were all extraordinarily close. And you have Tristal and Destiny. Destiny went 4-3, but that was in the Sword Magidrat group, where he won a 4-way tiebreaker to make it in here. And that was the group that pretty much everyone beat everyone. That was the group where Angel wins at 5-2. So 4-3 doesn't feel so bad. And then Tristal going 4-2 in the Harp Knight group, definitely in a strong position. Lost to Escarnality and Tilo, I believe. So you lose to a former champ and a former runner-up, but you still make it, and that's the important part.
No, absolutely. And these runners are getting ready to get their instructions, and we'll see what they get in the throne room here. They got moderate strength here to start, 10 strength out of the gate. So should be able to take on some Sun-Zero's enemies, depending on what we find.
Yes, and those chests are a magic key, so we get a free extra key at the beginning. Erdrick's token, which is one of the key items, but otherwise it's just going to be kind of useless for a while. And the extra key. So what do you think we're going to see here with the 2-key start?
Almost exclusively, we'll see everybody come back up, save, and then check the treasury. I could see at 10 strength maybe omitting that part, but I think we'll probably see all four do it.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long, and, no, it looks like Archfield has bailed, so everyone else is saving, but Archfield is immediately out into the overworld, where we see it looks like Tantagel is pretty close to the eastern side of the world.
I know, reverse count is intensifying as we see a Droll as the first encounter. What do we got down here?
Cursed Belt, Silver Harp, and we had a little bit of a blip there. Gold, and I'm not sure what's in the bottom left one. What do you think it is?
I missed him checking his inventory, but he's taking repeated, so it's either a torch or fairy water.
I saw fairy water on someone's screen, so I think, that's what chat is saying too. We're going to go with that. So you get this gold grind. Some of our runners talk about this being terrible. I hate these scenarios because it's just maximum, variance here at the start about what you do. But I have a feeling town seems a little unlikely, and we're probably just going to see a lot of fighting here early on in these early zones.
Yeah, we got Cyberdark on the top right and Tristal on the bottom left, opting to go with this gold grind, blind. Meanwhile, Archfield checks out the treasury. He says, nope, resets to get his key back, as did Destiny. Destiny's just not running into any enemies. Here we go. Magidrat a little too hot, though.
Yeah, I didn't see. Did Destiny... I think he kept his stuff, so he hasn't cashed in the key. So I don't know. That's weird. Maybe he'll reset upon a death or something, but he's still out here.
Yeah, I figured if he had kept it... Oh, and we're in the southeast corner looking at Archfield's screen there. He went down, and it's immediate corner down there. And he's counting it out right now, getting that reverse potential count set up. But I would have figured Destiny would have thrown a fairy water if he had that on him. So that's why I assumed he reset.
And that's the problem with Tantagel's location, then, is that you're basically starting in Zone 2. down here at the bottom because it's just a little bit beyond 15 squares. So you can see exactly where he is. He's counting that. And he's probably double checking this too. It's always a good idea to use the zoning counters to kind of reinforce how far you are from the borders if you're trying to have that reverse count in play. Granted, it's like a 1 in 4 chance it's even going to be useful at best, but still.
Yeah, and we'll see if Archfield gets the same news. Oh, he doesn't take out the Ghost, but Destiny found out Ghosts have DL2 breath.
Wonderful. We're seeing this path up north. It looks like there's a little bit of a hook there. Tristal is going to run his money southwest this time. Both Cyberdark and Tristal are kind of doing the aggressive take the money and run strats here, which there's a whole lot of swamp on Cyberdark's side. That doesn't feel up. There is a town.
Yeah, does not enough on him. Does he have an herb? He does not.
It's going to be 2 spots away. Now he has to do the math. Is it possible for me to get there? Did he take a few extra steps he didn't need to? I think he's going to assume that he did and try this again.
Yeah, he came in from the top of that, but the path did connect from the bottom as well. I do think he can probably buy himself a couple tiles and make it there. Obviously, if the enemy's allowing.
Looks like he doesn't think so. He's going to try the other direction here. And, meanwhile, all of our players still don't have level 2 yet. These starting enemies seem to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, we saw those ghost stats there. 50% DL2, 50% heal more. So even if you get lucky and it doesn't DL2 you, it's got high probability of healing on you. Archfield doing a full erase and putting a new letter in. We'll find out what build that is in a moment.
Now, letter N, I think that's the same build. I think we've seen other people use that before.
Yeah, capital N, strength HP build. So, intriguing. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing here. Cyberdark is back into that swamp, taking a death, but he was already down some HP there.
It makes me think Archfield is going to try to make a run with the money, at least the way he's checking here, that he's doing the gold chest last. You think you'd want to do the fairy water chest last. But yeah, he's doing it again. He's starting over again to get fairy water and gold, and I think he just hates the start so much that he feels like he has to. But okay, we saw something great, but then also bad on Destiny's screen. Gets level 2 and then wanders into a metal slime who kills him immediately with weak breath.
Yep, saw the exact same thing. Weak breath, no bueno at all. Tristal up to level 3 here, though. Big strength gains. We got Heal, Sleep, and Radiant coming along the way as well. Level 4 now, and Heal More comes along.
Yeah, it's making use of that fairy water grind. That might be the real bonus here, is just getting that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely gets them out of jail. They've got some good ability to start taking stuff on, even with no hurting spells yet. The 37 strength is fantastic.
And that's a good point by chat here. Cyberdark usually goes with the name Rye, and this time is just the R. So he actually has switched to a strength hit point build, which he's kind of known for being one of the main people who doesn't do that. So interesting to see him thinking differently now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's thinking, I made it into the brackets. It's bitten me in the butt more than it has helped. So switch up at least for the next few races.
And it really feels like this fairy water start has been the big thing here. We see Tristal jumping out to a somewhat significant experience lead, 117 to 8, and now a little bit more than that. While Archfield, I think that's what he really wanted out of that grind. Didn't even bother focusing in on gold, just grabbed the fairy waters.
Now, let's see what happens here. Cyberdark's got that cash, has that heal, is going to be able to maybe make it to this town, and he does, and it's Garanham.
Wow. So, okay, what do we got? This is the big question here. What is in Garanham? Whew, Flame Sword. That is huge in a start like this. That 28 strength or 28 attack power is going to be big, and getting some decent defense. Not everything is perfect, but this might. Did he only buy one thing of armor and not both of them? That's a little surprising.
Yeah, I missed that because I got distracted looking at Tristal getting level 6 with 19 more power. Tristal is punching pretty hard already for level 6.
So the only person that might still have their starting key is Destiny, but I don't know if he did or not either. I think, yeah, with the gold, he definitely threw it out, so never mind. Yeah, so we'll see. That key might matter, and it might not. Garanham's so close, even though it's not easy to get to. You know, it's a definite possibility. But a little surprising again, Cyberdark, there's a half plate there that he didn't buy, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, that's a little peculiar, unless he is insistent on keeping Silver Shield money on him in case he comes across the town here momentarily.
Yeah, that would be an odd thing to do, I think. I think you would just... The fact that you even got to that, you're lucky. Because you couldn't have got to that until you got the level. You know, oh, and wait, there's another town. Maybe we'll see it.
Oh, man. It throws to sleep and it doesn't work. Barely survives here and just does a run and has got a leftover heal and about 6 steps left to go.
Did he buy ours? Oh, hey, Destiny makes it to Garanham. He does have that key. It'd be interesting to see if he literally throws the key to set Garanham instead, because that is a possibility. You don't see that play very often.
Oh, and the metal slime is breathing and sends Cyberdark packing. But yeah, Destiny with knowledge of this town now.
We'll see. I think that the most useful thing you could have got out of Garanham was basically what Cyberdark did. Although, again, there's always that, like, if I were Destiny, I would think about saving it, rushing Garanham and checking what's behind it for armor or sword, or maybe an extra key in there. It looks like, I think he's trying to do the gold glitch, but it's not going to work. That or he just changed his mind on the way out, because he dipped the stairs and went back up.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that as well, or if he had heard you, but no, he's going to check the basement.
No, nobody's done that. There's a 25% chance of a free chest down here, and another 25% chance of an easily accessed chest, and then there's another 25% chance at Swamp, which could take you to the back of Garanham, you know, etc., etc.
Instead, it's just El Jerkerino, and we'll see a quick reset. Meanwhile, Tristal hits level 7, another 8 power nominal stats outside of that.
Yeah, he is still here, still on this grind, which I'm a little surprising. It doesn't seem like it's an amazing set, but he's getting through them pretty quickly. You could probably go to 8 here without feeling too bad about it. Although when he sees the town to the north, he might have a different feeling. He's still preserving most of that money. In fact, if he keeps on this, doesn't get killed, he might be able to still buy a flame sword. Not there yet, but he would be in a level or so.
Yeah, I was noting that as well. I just noticed he was just shy of 9,600, so and now is just over it. But man, hurt more on the drones.
All right, so the Druid's less fun.
Now, meanwhile, Destiny does opt to save and use the key to check the basement, obviously reset out of that and kept his key, but doesn't parlay that into going to Garanham is kind of surprising. Maybe just not giving that play a thought.
It is 3 free chests, which, I mean, of anything, since you've already seen a number of chests that don't have a key, I don't know what the odds are exactly, considering we've already seen one spare one, but I wouldn't feel too bad about it, just getting the key, because anything else you get in there is just gravy on top. And Archfield puts a Wraith to sleep. That's a little surprising. Wraiths are, I think, 7 out of 16 sleep resist. They aren't usually the first thing. And oh, hey, they have DL2 breath, so I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's not ideal at all.
Yeah, and it looks like the entire bottom path here from Tantagel is a waste. But there was just a very short dead end past where our players had died previously.
So this should be interesting. 3 of our runners, no keys, but Tristal finally pushing out this way. If he should be able to see this town momentarily, and there it is. Ooh, Armor Knights over in this area for Archfield.
And he's just decided to swing on them, which, I mean, what do you do? So, we'll see if Cyberdark decides to buy armor at this point, since he's went back into Garenham, or he has just completely forgotten about it, which seems to be the higher thing. It's going to heal up here and try to get to that other town.
Tristal looking at that flame sword and realizes how close he is, and debated for a moment, and then does nothing and just leaves.
And it just seems like that zone through there is too challenging right now. And then the same one Tristal's in, which when you see Wraith, and you think that's not too bad. I know there's a Spectre somewhere around there. Not too bad, but a Demon Knight is particularly bad in this situation with really terrible agility. And he has no magic to get around him anyway, but not enough hit points to swing Healmore either.
Yeah, and I think at this point, having lost half that gold, Tristal will probably, if he gets back to that town, most likely buy some defensive equipment at minimum.
Yeah, he's going to see that flame sword and kind of grit his teeth a little bit, I think, when he does get there. Not that he was at that level, but he was pretty close.
Yeah, but look at this fight. He just took on a Spectre in 2 easy swings there, but took a chunk of damage. The Spectre did 17 back at him, and half plate would put a big damper on that, although Blue Dragons we don't want to see.
Now, Destiny has ground up enough money to buy a key. So he's going to get the gold here and get a max set of keys, and then we might see that Garenham check, which again, Destiny is the one player who hasn't lost the key yet. So we'll see if this impacts the progress, if he can shoot out to a lead through what's down there, or if it just winds up being a nothing burger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would fully expect him to make a beeline back to Garenham now that he's got it loaded up, and at least give us all a look and see what we have. Although, based on that walk, I know we've had several people make it there. It is definitely not free. Blue Dragons and Tristal not mixing real well right now.
Yeah, Tristal might have something to say about this particular walk afterward, because he's went from almost flame sword money to, I can still buy a half plate sort of money. And it's starting to feel really rough, the same thing happening over and over.
No, absolutely. And after the first death, you might even maybe take a pause to save and at least have had that next step down worth of gold on you. But I can get, you made it there once. You didn't expect to keep running this stuff. But here we go. We got grinds happening on Archfield's side here. We got another level here for Cyberdark. We've got Destiny trying to make the town, but a Wyvern shows up. We're going to try sleep.
I tell you what, we've seen Spectre and Wyvern in that zone. I don't know what else is actually in the swamp. I have a feeling the Blue Dragon is part of it, but it doesn't feel, like those are some enemies that you really want to fight. And yeah, Destiny's immediately going to the back door here to see what's up.
Yeah, buddy. As soon as the NPC blockade lets him through, there it goes. And for our top right chest, we're going to get some more gold. Top left, we have an herb, and the third chest, we get some wings.
Yeah, that was one of the worst combinations you could want to spend that key for. So it was good he didn't bother checking any earlier. And it looks like underneath here we have a mountain, I think, by the amount of steps we've seen. But
should be gray. Or no, it is mountain. I thought he moved up for a minute.
Yeah, he might have really wanted to heal before he came in here, but this is probably just a miracle run anyway. I don't think he was going to be able to do too much to any specific enemies unless they happen to be weak. And, speaking of that.
Well, that's something you don't mind seeing. It's not going to help him right now, but hurt on that red dragon. At least let him survive once. Now, he's gotten 4 chests, as we found that torch up top. He could grind that flame sword if he's thinking about it.
True, he does have that knowledge. Will he put that into effect, though? And it looks like that is 100% his plan here. So 4 chests, which means he needs to check at least 1 before the gold. Although probably now he'll go straight for it. He has confidence in his counting. I never do. I always open it for 1.
Oh, I'm with you. Even when I'm confident that I'm correct, unless I've cleared all 5 chests, I do the same thing.
Now, Cyberdark finally makes it to that second town that we saw, and it is Cole, which has a bamboo pole, amongst other things.
And some very delicious Erdrick's armor just laying on the ground.
So Cyberdark is basically in no reason to check a shop again the rest of the game mode. Just needs to grind some stuff. And hey, these rogue scorpions, well, I was going to say they didn't seem too bad, but now I choose my mind.
Yeah, sleep not too ideal, but still able to 2-shot it there with that flame sword and gets away, and we have a cave over here.
Pauses for a moment, thinking it's a trap, and hey, it's the harp trade-in. Good to see that sooner than later.
Yep, so he'll have the Staff of Rain in hand, and yeah, he's looking in good position right now to start gaining some levels here. Archfield's got to do some cleanup here to get caught up. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Destiny doing a safety save before heading back over to Garenham. As we know with that danger zone, that's a smart play here. Getting that Flame Sword will be huge for him because that'll allow him to catch up pretty quickly to Tristal, depending on his grind.
Yeah, and again for chat, Archfield, Cyberdark, and Tristal all threw their keys at the start for this or that, but Destiny did not manage to get the money, and now has the money to get some good gear, and that might help him to catch up a little bit here to Tristal, who's been on the grind for most of the game.
Yeah, and from what we've seen, there's no other way to set up a grind at this point either, you know, because we've not seen Grave, we've not seen Keys Town, or a way to get a loose key otherwise to access the mountain in the back of Garenham, so Destiny's going to be the only one with knowledge of that for quite a while.
And Cyberdark now officially in the experience lead. He'd been slowly catching up with that Flame Sword against Archfield, and it's finally there now, and finding some good enemies, you know. You have sleep, you have a lot of attack power, and you find Magic Wyverns. It's the next best thing to actually having hurt more, I think.
Absolutely. I love that play. I love that zone. There we go. And here comes a Flame Sword for Destiny. I'll assume he'll pick up a half plate with and a large shield here. And then outside of getting around the corner to Cole and picking up his armor, he'll be pretty much kitted out as well.
Yeah, the one thing that some of our players might be interested in that was in Cole was the broadsword, but otherwise I don't think there's anything armor-wise that's going to be interesting. So, yeah, I mean, well, yeah, because there's going to be Erdrick's armor there. So, it's nice to be in this situation. I mean, again, Destiny and Cyberdark both just with massive gear advantages right now, and we'll see if they can turn that into an experience advantage.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Tristal, as noted in chat, just repeatedly throwing himself into blue dragons right now. I think like 6 or 7 of his deaths have been blue dragon.
Yeah, this is like I said, something he's going to probably be thinking about later. If we get him in for interviews afterwards, just like, what was with the blue dragons? Like, how many times did everybody else die to blue dragons? And we're kind of going to be giving a shrug because I haven't seen more than like 1 death from the rest of our players combined to those guys.
Yeah, definitely getting the downside of RNG for sure. Meanwhile, Destiny immediately going back into the mountain cave, finds a better enemy in the Druid Lord, looking to dodge that red dragon that's hiding back here and at least make it downstairs for those other 4 chests.
Yeah, I managed to basically jinx Cyberdark there by being like, nobody else is dying to blue dragons, and then...
Yeah, I mean, commentators' curses happen. It's how it goes. But this is a very interesting setup here. We've got gear on the right side, but only one of the 2 runners there have keys. We have lesser gear on the left with a bunch of punching. Luckily for them, you know, our strength is doing decent. At level 8 came the Spell of Hurt, which really is not beneficial from ArchfieldMonk's perspective here. But and it's going to allow these guys on the right most likely to start catching up pretty quickly.
Now, this really doesn't feel good to me. Destiny's trying to run from this Wyvern. Very sleepable, and he's in a position where he needs to start getting some experience. You got all that gear. Do something with it, you know, other than run from blue dragons first try, which doesn't feel bad at all.
Yeah, I agree. That's a fantastic enemy to sleep and smack, especially with that flame sword in hand. So far, Mountain being a complete bust, though. Nothing of note as of yet. We'll see what Chess 5 has if we make it.
And I guess we're not going to know for a while because Mr. Blue Dragon showed up once more. And I don't know. Oh, I see Tristal finds the Armor Knight down there too. So I think he had actually went through the path. Like I think he's seen Garenham and went through and just now.
Yeah, level 9 came over there for Cyberdark. Not really much to note. A little more HP, which is nice. Their agility is still just a dumpster fire at 23. 8 MP not far behind at 28.
He gets away from a Goldman, but then there's the Armor Knight. He sees a cave. And Cyberdark's really been leading our what's the word? Exploration advantage here, but getting taken out there. And Archfield getting away, one step away from goal. Massive run there.
Yeah, he's gonna be happy to an extent to see that armor. Cannot afford the broadsword, so settles for that bamboo pole. He's a winner in our hearts, at least.
That's excitement. Always excited when somebody buys the bamboo pole. But now he's going to get his armor and be like, oh well, okay. And you still would like a better weapon, but that's going to be pretty important, especially when you have somewhat limited hit points and so many things are out to just beat you into the ground here in the overworld.
Exactly, and Destiny we see setting up in this little zone right here with the forest tile in the desert. Has magic wyverns in it, but it also has those obnoxious metal slimes with the baby breath. Does get the metal slime to want to run away from him, but getting another encounter here, it's not ideal just because they are highly unlikely to let you kill them all. This one seems to have forgotten it has breath.
Just long enough to be a tease, and then he's gone. Now Archfield's swinging on these Demon Knights, which is, before it was a complete problem with the lack of hit points, but it's kicked up a little bit, and there's a little bit more MP, so it's kind of not as much of a terrible fight. It's still bad, but, considering how much experience everyone has and what options you have, you don't really hate it.
Yeah, and I can get it. We're fairly strong. Unfortunately, we're still taking 24 shots from the Demon Knight there. Our agility doing us no favors from a defensive perspective, and the lack of weapon is what's really hurting Archfield there. An almost assured 2-shot that Cyberdark would get as long as they land is a 3 to 4 shot for Archfield.
Yeah, the lack of effective grind is really hurting everyone right now. Like, we saw Tristal got level 9 just sitting down there, chilling in Zone 2 again, and that really doesn't feel good. Once you break 1,000 experience, unless you got wolves or something in that zone, you just feel pretty depressed. But the agility is so bad, just can't run from anything.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I think this is the 4th time he's died on that exact same hill tile.
Yeah, I was going to say something about Archfield finding a wyvern instead of a blue dragon, but then the blue dragon catches up to him. He was busy fighting Tristal on the other seed and had to come over real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So Destiny determined to make the zone work, getting some decent magic wyvern encounters here. Is definitely starting to creep that experience gap up a little bit here and get himself caught up. Already past 600, getting 83 a pop for every one of these he gets down.
Now Cyberdark just swinging on the blue dragon. He's got enough attack power. He's at 95 AP, so this doesn't feel like a terrible idea, but it's almost mandatory now that you have to dip Garenham just to get through this beginning zone. And oh no, there the blue dragon decided to hit at the top of the range.
Yeah, I don't mind the try at least. I mean, you're such a low percentage run chance there. Probably 20-ish if I was to take a guess. So heck, take your 20% chance at taking it out.
I want to point out it's funny looking at Archfield's gear. He's got the bamboo pole, the small shield, and Erdrick's armor. It's just a funny combo. Armor is in Cole, which is just to the west of Garenham, around that little gap, but it's been hard for anyone to get to, really.
Yeah, exactly. So where we just saw Cyberdark go past Garenham there, just to the northeast, it's just off screen to the northwest. Meanwhile, Destiny has opted to try and make a play at chest 5 in Mountain again. We'll see what happens here. It's a little sketchy, though, to say the least.
There were some okay fights. In fact, I'm pretty sure Grave 2 might be the exact same zone that everyone's been walking through. But yeah, Red Dragon on the top zone makes this less appealing, I think. Although, who knows? No, I was going to say maybe that 20 agility will get through. Nope. Oh, the way he does have hurt, so he can buffer this a bit. He could even try to fight it, but he'd be hoping for a lot of low physicals from the red.
Yeah, I mean, that 25 right there is exactly that low physical. I was trying to get a beat on what his hurt percentage seems to be. I would probably say 50%, and he just got a good run on him there.
At this point, I think he's just given up. But I don't know. He swung a couple of times. He might try this. I don't like the odds, because he's got maybe 1 or 2 swings possible. He does have some herbs that he could throw out, but I don't know. It'd be worth 255 experience to blow your herbs, I think. But this is dead now.
He just got double dodged in a row. It's magical.
It's perfect.
Well, I changed my mind. This has to be 75% hurt, and he's getting into that range, and he got it.
Oh my gosh! I did not. I called it dead, and it was not. But that's a good grind. There you go. There's your grind, Destiny. Just go kill red dragons and mountain. Just leave. Go back down, heal up, and kill red dragons.
It is only 50% hurt. He just got the dumbest run of luck for those 50% to land on his side of the coin.
Yeah, that's basically a metal slime kill there. You know, that's a little bit more experience, but the same sort of odds, I think.
Big news coming in at level 10 there. I missed that. Hurtmore came along there.
Yeah, a little bit of agility, 7 points. Pretty percentage-wise large increase, but Hurtmore the big one, a little bit more MP too, so you can actually cast it a couple of times. We'll see if that changes what anyone decides to do here at the end. You know, grind-wise, like Cyberdark immediately going after this green dragon out in this desert.
Yeah, and it's been amazing for Archfield here. Down a ton from a offensive perspective through the entire race up until level 10 there. With that bamboo pole versus flamesword, has been able to maintain experience with Cyberdark, although Cyberdark's going to take a little bit of a lead on these green dragons until Archfield finds his own enemies to blow up.
Yeah, Cyberdark has died a lot to those blue dragons as well, getting through that path. And Tristal just critting the metal slime and also picking up level 10. So he gets his own version of the red dragon, I suppose.
Yep, and we get a nice fighter's ring for our trouble in the mountain there. So got the rest of that knowledge. Tristal does jump to that level 10. Destiny with that red not too terribly far back now, 1160 experience. So we'll see where he's back to that same zone again.
And Tristal is found the cave that was just off of Cyberdark's screen before, which was Swamp. Which did Cyberdark just go through that? Did he just outside through it? I think so.
Tristal, not having the resources, does get the all the way to the west coast, but does get the 30 agility run, and we have a town just down here.
Yeah, some nice luck after everything that happened before, and it's Caitlyn, which both of our players are not going to be able to do anything with since they don't have any keys. Might help Tristal get an actual weapon, though. Copper Sword would be good in this scenario. Nope, not bothering to check. I guess he has Hurtmore, so what do you care, right?
Yeah, that's fair. And Oh, that desert's not doing him much favors from an enemies with hurt more ability here with blue dragons and stonemen.
I believe Cyberdark has found tablet. There we go. So he still has outside, so we'll see what's in tablet if there's anything useful. It is important to know, we're 30 minutes in and we've seen armor, harp, and token, but that still leaves 4 key items available with, as far as we know, 2 of the 3 overworld search spots still available as well.
Yeah, and Destiny up in that desert manages to take out a metal slime and now joins the other runners at level 10.
And Tablet Cave, very important, holds the Stones of Sunlight, so that's going to be some required work, but I can't imagine any of our players skipping it once they get to it. Just have to get through Swamp.
Yeah, absolutely, although Tristal down there got his as well. He's back out. We'll see what happens here. Destiny still has to go around and see Cole, as does Tristal. And Destiny has the least amount of exploration of the 4 runners right now.
Yeah, I was a little curious to see if he was going to run back, but no, he's going to check the southern end, which I think everyone else is now seeing is just a big lot of nothing. But hey, maybe he'll get another metal slime as a result. Alright, and Tristal going back in and getting the copper sword. We thought he maybe had changed his mind about that, but decided he's going to try to grind in this area with maybe... Oh, he's 5 gold short, I see. He's probably hoping to kill something really quick to refill. Although he could sell something.
Yeah, just almost anything will get him there, but yeah, that's a nasty zone. He's heading a little bit east here. There's another town.
Let's see, what do we have left? Hawksness, Breck, Rim. But Rim is what he is hoping for the most right now. But it's Hawksness.
Yeah, but he just took out a gold man there. If he's able to make it back here to town, he'll be able to top off, and maybe we'll get a quick check at the Hawksness spike, see what we have.
So, in the meanwhile, ArchfieldMonk hitting level 11, a massive 38 points of hit points there. So, the agility's still terrible. Everything else is still, like, strength is not bad, but hit points are now in a healthy range where that heal more can help you win some fights you might lose otherwise.
Yeah, you love to see that HP, but man, 31 agility is, I mean, that's even terrible for me.
So Archfield-Monk has now come across Swamp Cave as well. We'll see if he goes through it. Everyone else has immediately done so. Yeah, it looks like he's just doing that as well, warping through. So we really haven't seen what's past that path, but he might find his stones and his Hawksness, I suppose, which with Hurtmore fully revived, and that's what Tristal's doing right now. He's going to try and make a run at it, I think, and hope for a good enemy.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a decent Hurtmore enemy here, it's definitely a grind. I'm kind of surprised none of the runners after topping off for checking the immediate area has gone back to check the spike and swamp as well. But yeah, we'll see if there's anything hiding here. We have the sword, we have the the death necklace, we got the flute still outstanding.
And it's an Axe Knight. Wonderful enemy to see here, except it has sleep.
Yeah, and with our garbage agility, there's... throw the Herbmore on it. Oh, no, and it's got full wombo.
Well, Archfield will not feel nearly as bad as Tristal does when he gets to that. But yeah, that is... We got the stats thrown up on screen. The fullest wombo possible on that Axe Knight. It's not going to be good for a grind, I don't think.
Yeah, that's... You might get the jump on them eventually and be able to take them out at like a 60-65% clip, but 35% of the time they're working you pretty bad. That's a nasty grind.
Yeah, even with Erdrick's armor and all those hit points, you don't want to do that one. So let's hope we don't see that. See those in any other fun places. Like, imagine if that guy is on the final spike before Dragon Lord. That would be kind of gross.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Destiny still, after getting sent back, just topped off his keys, went right back to the zone, is just sitting here hurt more, and Magic Wyverns has taken an experience point lead in that bottom race.
And now I'm not sure if that's too bad of a grind. I still wonder about the zone near Garenham, but I think there was something, or not Garenham, Cole, but I think there was something really unpleasant over there. Or at least both of our top runners decided to bail from it. So, when you talk about the different advantages players have right now, the fact that he still has in one aspect, but he's not exploring at all, makes that advantage completely nullified right now. Because one in the back of Garenham was almost useless, like, but also the other stuff that you get, like the chords, possibly a deep grave, or anything like that, he's not going to see doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And man, it's just crazy that he's been so close to Cole there to get that armor a few times, and just hasn't taken that northward turn coming over into this desert. I mean, obviously he's going to get there eventually. We'll just see how soon that actually happens.
Yeah, the moment I see as he's given that option, and it looks like he is again going away from Cole, which is unfortunate. But on this note, I think it's going to stones as well. We'll see how long he's able to stay and kind of explore the area, if he's able to get through that ridiculous Iceland Hawksness.
Oh, exciting. The Wraith, also a Wombo enemy, has blessed us with sleep to go with his DL2.
Nice. I'm pretty sure Archfield just back at one of those earlier, no problem.
All right, Cyberdark running into a Red Dragon, immediately swinging. I mean, we have a ton of HP. We're finding out about the hurts here as well. We saw on the stats it's only 50%, but this guy really does like his hurt.
If the Red Dragon is on the spike in Swamp Cave, then that's huge. But we all lose in this area. But there we go. Level 12, picking up 13 strength and a little bit. But yeah, it looks like Cyberdark's just interested.
Yeah, outside of, I mean, agility MP continued to leg. Strength getting near that go level. HP already there, and maybe even will be go level with Death Necklace before too long. Meanwhile, we do have an Armored Knight on the spike here, and at least so far, it's just using its axe.
ArchfieldMonk taking out that Axe Knight, and in Hawksness we have nothing. So a terrible grind for no result. How long is Crystals have other players if they don't get through? Are they going to try to rush back at that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens here. How soon will Destiny start pressing? Everybody else pressing hard. It's amazing Tristal hasn't gone around with all the push out he has and found Cole yet, though. We'll see if he decides to try a different path or just continue to go back through Swamp Cave.
And now Destiny seems to be going west as well. Will he make that decision to turn up instead of go down? I don't think he's really even been past Garenham at all, so there's a whole lot of things for him to still find. And he's still quite a ways behind in experience from our top runners, which again doesn't matter because he's only racing Tristal. But it is interesting how that experience separation is just, that's the possibility of where you could be right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, Archfield and Cyberdark are two very grizzled veterans, man. And they're really putting it on display today on how you can move forward in this seed in two alternate methods. Meanwhile, Tristal's no slouch himself, just has not gotten lucky with the armor. I think that's been a little detrimental to him pushing out, in addition to just a terrible RNG when it comes to Blue Dragon encounters along the way there.
It does look like Destiny is making an attempt to explore a bit here. So If he can make it to Cairnham, and then if he can make it to Cole, we'll see. But I just learned why nobody's wanting to grind those green dragons. They have DL2 breath.
Yep, just made note of that as well. So yeah, that's and those maybe 50%ish to go down in one. So yeah, that's kind of trash. But Tristal does get level 11 as well and finds out about that huge HP. We got Sherlock on Archfield side.
Nice, and a whole bunch of bridge-connected islands. Now, Cyberdark is taking out an Axe Knight and is continuing here because he has not learned yet. And how long will he go until he gets the bad news? We'll see. It's certainly not bad for him to keep going until he gets the bad news, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the thing is, he's only got 5 Hurtmores left. He could very well go this entire time and not find out whatsoever.
But Destiny has found Cole. He's about to find his armor. He's gonna not feel great about this, I think. I think the armor itself has been kind of the key to unlocking things in this race. Even more so than experience and stuff like that. Just looking at that difference. And Cyberdark continues one-shotting Axe Knight over and over.
Yeah, it's insane. He's just picked up level 13. Some more decent stats when it comes to strength. HP went up another 10. But no real agility or MP improvements.
Imagine you get to the end of this race and there's like Archfield's like, yeah, I got through that one Axe Knight and I saw the DL2 breath and I was like, no. And Cyberdark's like, what? They have DL2 breath? They had sleep? I just one-shot every single one of them for like 2,000 experience.
Yeah, and then this one gets the jump on him. Just swings, and the Hurtmore doesn't take it down. It just swings again. So that's RNG, folks.
Tristal going in on this Armor Knight. See if he thinks about a preemptive Princess rescue. Meanwhile, Archfield tried to swing down a red dragon and got the 50% swing instead of the 50% hurt, and got sent home. But yeah. What's Cyberdark going to do now? He's cleared Hawksness. He's just going to go back and heal and keep exploring here. Is he going to go right back to that, what should kind of be a terrible grind, but hasn't been so far?
I mean, that's possible. We did, or at least I did, overlook that. He did see one DL2, did not find out about the sleep, and with that much HP, honestly, a DL2 breath every, 5th or 6th Axe Knight really isn't a concern. So unless he sees that sleep and pays for it, he probably isn't going to care too much.
Right, and it's also worth mentioning, it's 45 minutes, and there's no keys for anyone except for Destiny. So, it depends on what is... Like, right now it's just coordinates, because we know the other 2 locations are ultimately nothing, but the odds that Archfield, Tristal, Cyberdark don't full clear Mountain is probably pretty low, unless they just happen to find everything first.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see with Destiny finally pressing. We'll maybe get some of these checks that we are unaware of here, as he does pick up his Staff of Rain after finding the Exchange Cave here. We do know he's got to go through Swamp to find those next few locations here, but maybe we'll get a check if there's going to be coordinates. Haven't seen the Grave yet. We haven't seen Rim yet, and have we not seen the Stones Cave yet?
Nope. Stones we have not seen, and Grave we have not seen. And then, of course, Rim and Breck, of which only one of those 2 is interesting.
Oh yeah, we left Breck out on purpose here. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens here. It is very intriguing for the one runner that just managed to keep his key at the beginning to still be the only one with a key this far in, with how much these guys have been walking around.
Everyone pushing exploration right now, and Destiny's still fighting metal slimes. He kills another one. There you go. But she's not trying to do it. They're just throwing themselves in his way. And the one thing we haven't seen much of yet is what's past Swamp Cave. Like, I feel like where Destiny is now is different because he didn't hug the bottom coast like our other players that he's hugging the top. So I don't recognize any of this.
Yeah, I'll agree. I don't recognize it either. Or if it is something someone else saw, it has to be a relatively quick dead end. Although Archfield is in the same exact desert area right now, just like 1 or 2 tiles offset.
Oh, okay, yeah, that definitely does look familiar now. This time Archfield is pushing past Swamp. I think, no, Tristal's on the other continent, never mind. So we'll see if he's able to find anything interesting or if he's just going to get beat up by a red dragon again.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get lucky. I mean, still only rocking that bamboo pole right now. No heal mores in the tank, but getting a nice run on hurts from this red dragon.
I feel like whenever Tristal comes into contact with Cole, he's just gonna kind of throw up his hands. He's been so singularly minded in that exploration, just going south, hard south every time, that he missed that nearby town, and that could be the difference in a race ultimately. Is, you know, all of the deaths and all of the lost time just by not having the armor early.
Yeah, exactly. So, I have a feeling he's just going to throw hurt more, but I could see him if they. I don't even know if they have stop spell actually. Gets ambush slept. Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, this time he's throwing out the hurt more. He's not trying to run, and it takes him out. So he's about to get rewarded with nothing.
Yeah, it could have been big for him, but alas, it wasn't. So at least he's got that knowledge out of the way. He is not going to partake in any more Axe Knight games, though.
And Cyberdark picking up level 14. Not a lot of anything but 20 MP, which right now, you know, agility still isn't great, but MP lagging is probably a bigger concern. So that'll be nice once he can find a town to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we've got Cyberdark out a little further east, past Charlock there. Keeps running into things, but keeping that repel up. We'll see if he can find some of those last locations we're missing, including Keys Town. And Destiny needs to just go down a little bit here and then to the west and would find the Swamp Cave and the path that appears to lead to the rest of this stuff.
And we had another bad, you know, luck situation, I suppose, on Tristal's side, where he just got taken out by a blue dragon trying to get back to Cantlin. Now, that could turn out good for him if it causes him to explore this first continent a little bit more. If he just rushes right back, though, we're not going to see much of anything. And it looks like Destiny's exploration has been pretty much fruitless. I think he fully explored that whole area, found nothing, and has now made it back to Swamp Cave. Or made it to Swamp Cave, I should say.
Yeah, does not have any resources left, and we know the Red Dragon exists in here. We'll see if he can successfully navigate this place.
Well, he has knowledge enough that he might even try to herb up through those Red Dragons if he swings, just hoping that they don't take him out. But looks like he's got through. So, assuming he can actually get to Cantlin without dying, it's in pretty good shape. Although there's the blue dragon again.
All right, everyone in chat, say it with us. Tristal, go. Oh my god, one step and he sees the town on his screen. Tristal, as long as he can make it there, we'll be getting some armor here in a moment.
Oh no! Yeah, this would be one of those. I want to watch the stream directly and watch his reaction, but that I also don't because it's going to be terrible. Yes, as chat was pointing out, this is a set of 1v1 races, same seed, different stakes, both on completely different parts of the bracket. Actually, Tristal and Destiny are in the top left corner, and Archfield and Cyber are in the bottom left corner. Yeah, and here we go. Tristal getting his armor, finally.
Yeah, at 52 minutes in, and how close that was, that's a feels bad moment. Meanwhile, Destiny was trolling everyone in chat by walking out of Cantlin without getting cords, but does come back down here. 54 north, 71 to the west.
Those are going to feel very princessy. It's possible that Archfield could do a reverse count, but I don't like that because it's 40-some steps, and you're very disoriented coming through swamp already. So, possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm terrible at even trying to figure out how this map aligns with each other, where the swamp continent meets the other continent, if they're even separate continents or not, and such. So I'd probably get the princess just because of that exact disorientation that you were mentioning.
This is exactly what Destiny is doing, beelining back to this cave.
Yeah, I like this play. He'll get his GPS, get back through the swamp cave, and his exploration towards those chords will most likely lead him past those other locations that we are aware of currently.
Also, thank you, Schmike, for the challenge link. We don't have update results for each race yet. You only the actual series. So otherwise, you pretty much have to scour the race time pages if you really want to know. But we are trying to not reveal too many of the results too quickly, just because we want to actually show them on screen if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we're nearing an hour, just a recap for everybody that may have joined late. We have 2 separate 1v1 races here. This is our first round of the bracket stage. These are best of 3 in both of these races. This is race 1. So neither race has a winner or a loser yet. The runners started with double keys. The top 2 and Tristal all decided to utilize that key to get additional items out of the treasury. Meanwhile, Destiny opted to keep his key, as still the only runner to have keys. As we're at 55 minutes in, no one has been able to locate a loose key in this would be the only place, which is the Stones Cave, or otherwise in Rumbledore. Stones Cave coming with a Dragon Scale.
All right, Dragon Scale. That's +2 defense, except he already bought one, so that's just a bit of a waste. But he does find a town. Is it Breck? Is it Rim? It's Rimeldar! So there we go. He'll get his keys here in just a moment and be able to backtrack and do all the things that Destiny has done, and which have so far not really helped a whole lot. Those keys have been more of a nicety than an actual boon to gameplay just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Just not. I mean, it's given him some knowledge. You know, he at least knows what's in the back of Garenham. Got through the back of Tantagel, which none of these runners on the other 3 had even checked. So he's got some knowledge, but it didn't lead to anything that really got him out there. And we still have no clue where the heck Grave is. Let's see if this chest and rim helps Archfield.
I would call that a no, unless he really wanted to buy, no, there's really nothing that he could buy. Maybe a broadsword. If he saw a broadsword in the shop, he might be willing to leave and come back in, because I think in that situation it would be worth it. There's nothing else he really needs to buy except for a weapon. Maybe a nice... Oh, I guess he didn't have a large shield. There you go.
Well, meanwhile, Destiny just trying... He has MP, but is just swinging away at this Axe Knight. Does find out about both the sleep and the DL2. Does manage to survive. A ton of HP will help with that, and finds out about the nothing.
We saw the stats up on screen, and I almost feel like that's trolling us, because I don't think we've seen that from the Axe Knight. He's been mostly not doing those things. Meanwhile, Archfield has stumbled across the Grave, which must have just been a little bit past Remolder, so I will see if there's anything there. Plus, Cyberdark, I think this is a new town on his end.
Yeah, not looking familiar for that part for Cyberdark. Up top of the Grave, we're going to get yet another gold chest. Middle will be a bonus key, and we got an herb in the top left.
So then I guess we got to do the rundown of what have we seen and what's left. We have seen all key items. All of our trade-in items have been found, and most of them traded in. I think Tristal still hasn't found the harp trade-in. Or hasn't, I don't think he's seen it yet. But we're basically missing sword, flute, and death necklace. So one of those is going to be in the overworld, and the other two are in Deep Grave or Sharlock.
You nailed it. That's exactly what we have left. So get some guesses in chat. What are we thinking? Swamp Spike is an armor knight, and seems to be just axing the runners. So doesn't seem to have anything that we're aware of yet.
Destiny does turn in the princess on his end, so the first one to get the Gwaelin check mark, and I have a feeling. Oh, that's right. Jerkcave is underneath Tantagel. He's going to turn that in right now. And see.
Yeah. So he's if these cords turn out to be sword, he is full grind and go. We'll see what happens.
Throws the wings to get out, getting rid of one of those item slots, but still very little MP on the bottom runners. I don't think they've hit the big MP level yet, which is 14. 15, not too bad either. Cyberdark really pressing the experience right now. He's still missing, Remolder is kind of the only thing he's really missing right now, because that is required getting that key. Unless he finds it in Grave, which I think that's where he is, so maybe he will.
Yeah, that does appear to be where he is, and we know that top middle chest had the key, so he will pick up a key the fun way, which is in a chest in a cave, while we have Archfield deep dive in Grave here. Still finding some okay enemies here as he hit level 14 there, and is on his way to chest 4.
Yeah, that was the one lingering thing that Archfield had over Cyberdark. Not really lingering, it was even kind of new, but he might decide to warp out to try to find Rim, or he might push through. I think deep diving Grave right now makes a lot of sense because you don't ever want to come back here. So, not saying there's super high odds that something is going to be here, but you want to clear it. I mean, if you're Archfield, who hasn't even seen Mountain yet.
Yeah, and I agree. I would hate to skip diving this and then have to come back knowing just how long it took to get here and how far away it is. Sure, the resources are a little light, but he seems to be doing fairly well, keeping his own. Does get chest 4, which is a death necklace, so now we're down to a 50-50 on new cords. He doesn't know that, but we know that here in the booth.
I believe that we will find that the coordinates is the Fairy Flute, but only if ArchfieldMonk tries to reverse count it. If not, then who knows?
That's pretty good. So, kind of outlining what knowledge these runners have. Cyberdark, finding the last few locations here, is going to come across Rim, kind of doing these last checks up here in reverse of what Archfield. So at this point, Archfield and Cyberdark have full knowledge of where locations are outside of Breck, which I don't believe anybody has seen. The bottom, not as much. They have not seen near as much on the second continent on either runner's side. No Grave, no Breck, no Rim, no Stones Caves.
He's hurt more Remolder. That's great. And yeah, Cyberdark did find Brecken area. I think that was what our town was in those hills kind of southwest of Grave, which Archfield won't see because he just warped immediately back. He's looking for Mountain. He's going to find his trade-in, which will be just fine. But yeah, he knows that all that's left right now for him is the overworld coordinates and Mountain. And by the time he gets back to Cantlin with the keys, he might as well have just done this anyway.
So, yeah, and this is going to work out real well for Destiny now that we know the coordinates have to be the sword. Once he gets through and finds out where that's at, he is going to be fully set, not having to go find any of those other locations that those top runners have.
Yeah, he's going to be pure grind and go once he does do the coordinate check, which he's checking past Swamp here, which we know is a very quick dead end. But I'm almost certain that these coordinates are through in the second continent. I can't even see how they would be on this one.
Yeah, there's nothing further west whatsoever at this point, and we're clearly at the bottom of the world. Absolutely agreed. So Destiny in a pretty good position here in that bottom race. We'll see what happens here, though. If if something comes into play where the Death Necklace is a requirement, and Tristal does happen to get the Death Necklace out of Swamp or out of Grave, where Destiny does not, that might be a path forward. Obviously, if Agility continues to be terrible, and we have a bad Sharlock, that obviously can come into play. But we'll see what happens.
Cyberdark did see the last thing that he had before, which was that swamp, or was that Stone's Cave. So Tristal's still kind of exploring. If he keeps going, he's eventually going to see what Archfield and Cyberdark saw, but I don't know how close it's going to be. And it does look like Archfield's at least checking behind Garanham. Chat is wondering if he would dive Mountain or not. You haven't seen the coordinates yet. You're not quite at go level. This makes some sense to me, but I also tend to like zoom in really hard. He's also not seen any cursed belts. I don't think. Have we seen one at all?
I don't have any marked down, so no, I don't think we have.
Oh, there we go. And Cyberdark now going back, getting his jerk drop, or whatever you want to call it, drop cave. I'm trying not to say jerk cave as much, but there you go.
Hey, the rainbow is the rainbow then. And at this level, I mean, quite honestly, Archfield's still level 14, but I know we're a little ahead on the tracker, but Red Dragon will be very attainable for him.
Yeah, he's not losing a whole lot diving here if he's fighting Red Dragons, because that's probably the single best enemy to fight for experience. If you know a place where they're in a desert zone, that's probably where you'd want your main grind to be. Maybe the Armor Knights in Swamp, but they're not, I don't know, like one Red Dragon versus an Armor Knight, or two Red Armor Knights that you won't have to heal or do anything in between. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. 15's really, really close. I know no one's going to like that agility. Although it's clearly winnable. It's already been proven time and again. It's just disgusting. If they had the MP to back that up, that would be a whole other story. But 9 heal mores, knowing you're going to run fail a ton of stuff, is pretty nasty. I would not trust it whatsoever.
Destiny does not know that the sword is coordinates, but he does. All he is missing is the flute, the necklace, and the sword. So anyone who, like Archfield and Cyber, have that information because they fully dove Grave, and 4 and 5 in Grave were the Death Necklace and the flute. What's interesting, maybe I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen Destiny checking the coordinate location. It looks like he's just exploring, which I would wonder about, because I would be going directly at those coordinates if I were him. Get that check done.
That's because he already got them.
Oh, never mind.
That happens, man. I missed it too, but luckily I wasn't the one talking, so I got to watch chat tell me. So yeah, he got the sword, so he's got full knowledge now. So yeah, we'll see what he wants to grind on.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to find Sharlock, and he is going to just about. Oh wait, that isn't the same location. But pretty soon, I think it's just a little bit further along where he is.
See, I just like to have a lot of fun here in the booth. I don't take it too serious. We're just having a lot of fun, hopefully bringing chat into it. So yeah, I think he is exactly going the right path. And yeah, it's right there. He has full knowledge. Now he's like, what do I do? Where do I go? It's panic time. I need levels. Let's go.
Ooh, maybe he's looking for a town nearby that he can do a first floor grind. Or I don't know. If he loses a lot of time exploring, like... even though there is at least one useful thing in Deep Grave, the Death Necklace, I would not spend a single second looking for it versus grinding, because your AP is already there. You just need MP. You just need the magic. And, yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting level 15's knowledge here. Gets that big bump in MP. It's not beautiful. It's workable, but, I mean, gosh, man, I would... If you're scared of the Wombo Axe Knight, at least go back to that Armor Knight. There's a town right outside of Swamp you can heal up in Cantlin, versus doing this walk around and look.
I don't think we're going to accidentally blare the lyrics of Cotton Eye Joe at any point during this race, although it could be fun.
I've left weddings for less than that song, that's for sure.
And Destiny is, he sees Stone's Cave. He doesn't know it's Stone's Cave, but it's Stone's Cave. And then I believe Rim is just past it. He might end up doing that first floor grind anyway, unless he is going to find something better. And this one is, there's Rim. So I guess we'll just see if he decides to dive. I feel like that's what he's going to do, but sometimes some players, like, they feel like they've gotten too much stuff too quickly and they get confused about what to do at the end. I don't feel like that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, and we see level 16, while being still shy of a Healmore, with only a 2+2 there, does bring the agility up to, a nominal number. At least the 70s makes you feel okay.
Now, if you have the Death Necklace, that is an interesting decision. If you're Destiny and you hit that level and you have the Death Necklace, it'd be an interesting dive decision. With the agility being bad, usually that means your defense is also kind of bad. And so diving early with low agility is still bad. But I could see somebody going at 16 here. It probably just depends on how aggressive they want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think Destiny's trying to make a play here. I don't think this is a dive and grind. I think this is a dive for a win. Hoping to bank on some doubles. Yeah, he's running from a Star Wyvern. Let's, I mean, it's going to be pretty terrible with the run luck. It just all depends on what the enemies are here.
Yeah, that's 9 Healmores on average, 11 swings. That's definitely possible. But again, that agility is so incredibly bad that he's likely to lose a Healmore just off of a regular enemy, a non-red.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's why I said I don't mind a 53 agility dive, but you got to have a little bit of MP to back it up. But we'll see what happens. It could be all just these terrible Star Wyverns and Wizards and get some good luck. To answer a question in chat, this is the same seed for all 4 runners, but it is 2 separate 1v1s. Up top, we have ArchfieldMonk versus Cyberdark86 in Game 1 in a best of 3, and on the bottom is TristalMTG facing off against Destiny of a Dragon Warrior, also in Game 1 of a best of 3.
And we don't really know of any Sharlock enemy except for Red Dragons who are nerfed, and maybe that's part of his decision right now. It's like, well, it's a Red Dragon. I can probably kill it before it takes a Healmore. If I'm at high resources, which we've seen the Red Dragons at like 50% hurt. So if it's an AK-47, if he's at max resources, he can probably kill it before it takes a Healmore. So not terrible, but you're still counting on not seeing a lot of those. And so far, he has not seen any of them. Oops.
Yeah, so far he has not seen any immediate encounter. Meanwhile, ArchfieldMonk does get his coordinates here. Has to know it's the sword at this point. We'll see if he gets him a princess and how long it takes him to get his sword.
Cyberdark is on the grind. Maybe he's hoping to do this without the sword. Doesn't feel like bothering with it. Knowing it's on coordinates and just not wanting to deal with it. But this is still a very scary grind.
I mean, to be fair, he's got the Death Necklace. It's doable right now. He'd be at 139 attack power, but unfortunately, he's going to get sent home. We'll see what his decision is after this. If he's wanting to grind, I think he switched to the Armor Knight.
Yeah, Destiny got through the Red Dragon, but the Star Wyvern with Hurtmore is giving him fits, and he's playing it very risky. Not using any herbs, and not healing at all. And I don't know, let's see, 3 out of 10, and he's still alive. Okay, there's the Healmore.
And thanks for the correction, chat. I got Archfield and Cyberdark backwards. Cyberdark does not have the Death Necklace. I got them confused in my mind for a minute.
Oh, he didn't deep dive Grave. Alright, yeah, then in that case, he just wants to not deal with any of that. So that could be a massive factor in that top race. That experience gap matters a lot less if Archfield can win at a lower level.
I think at this point, if you're Destiny, you have 53 agility, you have to realize that this is not happening and start grinding through this. I would have loved to have seen him just attack through that. We'll see if this death sends him back to a grind versus trying to dive again, or if he tries to press it a second time.
Yeah, the run, instead of just blowing the Healmore, was like a last-ditch effort to try to make that work. And a huge price, and now he has to go all the way back to anything, you know, remotely interesting. But again, if you know of an overworld zone with red dragons and like a desert or hills, it's probably going to be worth the effort to just do that.
Yeah, I agree. So Tristal does come across the grave, does do the full deep dive, so has knowledge of the Death Necklace, the flute. Hasn't checked the coordinates as of yet, but going to get all these other checks in this area done real fast.
Archfield turning in that princess. Is Cyberdark going to do the same, or is he going to try to grind on the enemy here? He might just decide that. I don't think he's checked the spike tile yet, so he might decide the sleepy, the Wombo Axe Knights are not the deal.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a double grind on the right side for Armor Knights as Destiny is making his way up there right now. Also, Archfield dropping off his princess, working towards his sword. Should have that in about a little over a minute, most likely making it back around to that place as Tristal is going to start doing all his key checks now that he has picked up keys out of grave.
He's still in a very big hole as far as it goes with exploration, him and Destiny, but you know, we've already seen Sharlock be a little interesting with the agility, and now Destiny. If he kept pushing on to Sharlock, could have opened up the door pretty wide for Tristal. We'll see how quickly he's able to get to the things that he needs here. On a 66 defense, the Dragon Lord can hit for a max of 53.
Yeah, I mean, 53 sounds concerning. For someone like Destiny who's not going to have Death Necklace, that's not concerning at all. He can heal more out of that with no issue. Death Necklace would put the other runners potentially at risk, at least at the current HP. We'll see what 17 brings for Cyberdark here in a moment. He's got to get a few more Armor Knights down, and then we'll see if he makes a go for it.
Tristal running into the Great Wall of Garanham. I think that was our worst NPC block of the game so far. Is Cyberdark going to get 17 here? I think it's going to be pretty tight, but he should, especially if he decides to throw some herbs into it, which might be a good decision. You know, prolong this, don't have to come back, you know, later.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he can double heal as well. Oh no, he's just going to hit outside, maybe grab it off of something. Well, I mean, there is some Sharlock tier enemies right over here, just outside of Caitlin.
Wow, he's playing like he might need more than one level. I think that's what that is. And I don't know about swinging on this blue dragon. It's going to be tight. He needs some good rolls.
Yeah, Erdrick's Sword, I think he 3-shots this, no question. Does get the 3-shot with a nice finish there, so he is going to get 17. We'll see if it brings him enough to make it worth.
15 MP, that might be it. That's not a bad stat set. I'll have to look a little bit closer at that.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 more heal mores because he was 1 shy of 1, so he gets 2 more heal mores out of it. The 10 agility is not a joke. I think that puts you in fight through the red dragon still, just because I think that's the faster way to deal with them at this point. Run from Armor Knight. I mean, 140. Oh, that's right, 131. Ah, man, you would have liked to see 1 more strength, but I think it's still doable.
I would go. It looks like he's going to pick up a couple of Fairy Waters, or not. I think he wanted to, and now he's going to decide that takes too long, so he's just going to bolt. At least didn't go the quickest way out of town. There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, question in chat, did Cyberdark get cords? At least I honestly have no clue if he actually went down and got them or not.
I don't recall him ever seeing them. I think if he did, he might actually go after them, even though they're not like an easy count. So now we get to walk to Sharlock, which Archfield is just a little bit ahead of Cyberdark right now on this. I think that's where the map lines up. So we'll see. You would see in this situation, you would have to give Cyberdark the advantage. But Archfield's not diving now. He already lost some heals.
Yeah, Archfield seems, he's close enough. It seems like he just wants to grab his level real fast. He knows where towns are over here. Grab his level off the top of Sharlock real fast. Go up and top also. Cyberdark will definitely have an early dive here advantage. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, down here on the bottom, Destiny gets level 16 and is making a play for Sharlock as well.
It is such a long walk from the nearest town, but it's not too bad. It just ends up being bad when you have no agility. And yep, there he is, Cyberdark in. Archfield, a few more fights away from the level here, having to fight these terrible things. And oh yeah, Axe Knights docking Cyberdark repeatedly. It's terrible.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank gosh, I've got the agility finally. That is a triple run fail. Second time he's getting slept. Needs to wake up here. Does, and the fourth time's a charm.
Well, maybe that's the worst of it, I guess. That would be your hope. Get the big scare out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So, meanwhile, Destiny can't even get away from the Dagon Demon Knight. Not sure where he's going. Maybe he can't quite recall where the path went. Two little openings there. Now he's on the right path here. We'll see Sharlock momentarily. Cyberdark, just not having fun with Axe Knights right now, is sent packing. I mean, we saw Destiny at least get through the top zones with no issue in running into those, but see what happens.
Well, that puts Archfield, I think, in the advantage here, because he's going to be able to get back a lot quicker, and I think he's going to do that, although he seems maybe a little bit lost the way he's exploring, so he might not remember exactly where things are. Destiny, however, is back in Sharlock and trying to win on this one. He's a level lower than Cyberdark, so Archfield's going to have the same issues as him with the lower agility and being able to get away from things, and there's another Axe Knight sleep on Destiny.
I mean, low agility, your thoughts tend to run to, man, Red Dragons, Armor Knights, these are not going to be fun encounters. But then the Armor Knight, or the Axe Knight, reminds you, Wabo enemies also stink really badly.
There's the Star Wyvern, who he's had a lot of trouble with. So, again, this might come down to a situation where are people healing? Because we have seen, kind of a tendency with Sharlock for people to not be super aggressive in healing, trying to prolong that herb use as much as possible. And we'll see how it is. Anyway, Archfield now back into Sharlock and finding an Axe Knight with sleep immediately.
Well, at least the Axe Knight's now being equal opportunity, as Tristal is going to get some coordinates. He has knowledge this will be the sword, so we'll see what happens. This is not going well for Archfield right now, and gets run blocked, is still barely alive, and gets away with 2 HP.
And this would be a scenario where I would wonder about just leaving and coming back. You didn't actually lose any resources, but whenever you get such bad results immediately, you just feel like, nah, you gotta try this again. But yeah, he's having fun with the Star Wyvern. Same thing that Destiny had in that first dive. Could not get away from the Star Wyverns with their hurt more spam over and over. And yep, there's another one.
Yeah, 71 agility for our top left, bottom right runners. Destiny running from a Red Dragon first turn. Wow. I don't know that I would be trying to run, but if it works, it works.
Archfield has now lost 2 heal mores to this Star Wyvern. But he's still going. You know what? I don't know. Maybe he's just going to try to place the thing, and because he's not quite equidistant, but he's pretty close. He might just try to place the stairs and then go downstairs and then outside out. But meanwhile, Destiny is in our final zone.
Yeah, Destiny having pretty good run luck here as it's gone through decent encounter luck. We'll see what the bottom zone entails. Green Dragons, which we do know have Dragon Lord Breath.
I'm more concerned about Axe Knights than anything else. Just the way that has been. Like, oh, there's a green dragon. Well, we don't have to worry about that, right? Because it doesn't have sleep. But it is run blocking him a little bit.
That's the thing that we have to worry about. And gets a first turn run from the Armor Knight. Nice. Knowing there's an Armor Knight here, I would absolutely love to see him use a couple herbs and get topped off. Buy yourself a couple additional chances if you're going to keep trying to run on him.
Archfield is still going, which is interesting. I guess with the Death Necklace on, he does shrink this fight by quite a bit. But 8? I don't know. 8 seems real tight. Or excuse me, 7. He has 7 heal mores. And I don't know, what is he looking at? He'd have 151 attack power. So I guess he's still in decent shape if he doesn't lose anything else.
I mean, yeah, it's doable, I guess, but man, this is kind of sketchy. I mean, and we know Armor Knight's in the bottom zone now is just not a good time had by all, let alone taking DL2 breaths to the face from Green Dragons on occasion. Although Destiny is nearing our spike, he's getting so close. We'll see if we can make it there.
And our spike is, drumroll, an Armor Knight, which with his MP, he could throw out a Hurt More right now if he wanted to, which would not lose him any heal mores and would probably save him a bit of damage, but I don't know. You might be thinking more about using the heal spell afterward.
No, that's one thing for newer runners or runners that don't are a little touchy when they get downstairs. Look at your difference in your MP. He has, as Aaron noted, he had a +5 there. Know that you have that Hurt More in the back pocket, or at least use that heal versus the herb.
But he has started that Dragon Lord fight, I believe. Yeah, there's no Death Necklace on his side, but he has the MP still. He hasn't lost any actual heal mores, and there we are. Let's see, are we gonna get the opening swing, or are we gonna see an ambush? Opening swing for 18 damage, and then also an opening double just on top of it. 30 already.
Yeah, nice start. Exactly what you want to see there. He's going to be doing 10 to 20 damage here.
I believe that is 49. I did look away from it.
Nope, you've got it.
Next swing for 17 brings us up to 66. Meanwhile, Archfield has made the basement. Cyberdark is still in zone 2. Another 16. I think that's 82. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, and that puts him up to 93 on that double, so in a really good position.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. At this point, it's just don't lose a heal more and don't put yourself in a dangerous position. You're fine. Well, probably fine.
Yeah, 119 now. Just got to remember, what is it, max 51 that he can take right now on a melee?
Yep, which again is pretty easy to dodge if you know, like, just generally speaking. And there we go. GG's to Destiny of the Dragonwarrior. He's going to finish first in this quad and first in his one-on-one race and take the first game of this best-of-3 series against Tristal.
Yeah, very nicely played there. He made the attempt on 15, maybe thinking he might be a little behind after not pressing exploration, seeing that armor a little later. Unbeknownst to him, he got it probably around 20 minutes ahead of Tristal, just not finding that town forever. But I don't know, Aaron, what do you think? Did the key play into his ability to be able to pull off the overall W here today?
Well, it definitely helped him to skip a bunch of stuff. So that's kind of the important thing here. And yeah, just looking at ArchfieldMonk's fight, I believe he lost his opening round, or at least he got ambushed. He might have still been able to get a hit. But he also did not put on the Death Necklace, apparently. I saw that 11 roll. This does not feel good. Like, he needs the doubles to come in heavy to carry this.
Well, there was a 20 and a double followed by a 16, so that definitely helps.
Absolutely. When I was looking at the numbers, I thought this was Death Necklace required, but you might have been looking at it differently. After all, my numbers are copied off of his.
Yeah, and I mean, some people have much more faith in their ability to grab doubles than others as well, maybe taking a big factor of doubles into play here. He feels comfortable enough to not even risk that 47, so...
Ooh, getting hit for 49. He got a couple of soft swings there, which put him in position for another double, but I have no idea what his count is right now.
Well, it's coming down to the 2 swings. He's going to have 2 swings here. Does it with a swing to spare. That is fantastic.
All right, GG's to ArchfieldMonk, who's going to pull out this victory. A race that seemed to be pretty back and forth for a long period of time, but he did it without the Death Necklace and managed to, even with that first floor, losing 2 Heal Morris to Star Wyverns, is enough to game 1 in this best-of-3 series against Cyberdark.
Yeah, and I mean, Cyberdark, level 18, 2 levels ahead of our other 2 finishers now at this point, and does make a gamble on the treasury there, hoping that maybe the sword will be in there because he never did check the coordinates. A big pause here on Cyberdark's screen, maybe getting the news about the finish there, is going to go ahead and press on towards the Dragonlord now.
Yeah, he's just throwing out the GGs there and going through. The check for the treasury was interesting, but ultimately didn't matter. Really, this was just Archfield taking that risk, being down, like losing so much on the first floor, and then still going through. Which out. And hey, now I don't know. Cyberdark just gets taken out by Green Dragon.
Told you that Green Dragon was nasty. But with that, Dean, we have tonight's bottom race winner, Destiny of a Dragon Warrior. GG's. How are you feeling? Speechless like always. So if you can hear us, we can't hear you. If you want to check your audio settings real fast. Meanwhile, we'll check. Oh, there he is.
Here I am. I had to restart the settings here. Thank you, DK. Thank you very much.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that one?
I felt pretty good. The opening was interesting with the keys and seeing the town and setting up the gold grind. I was nervous that maybe I was taking deaths that I shouldn't be taking, and I may have been falling behind with checking everything out. But overall, I felt pretty good. Things went in a good natural order. Diving Sharlock, the level that I first did with 53 agility was a risk that I wanted to take. Agility, as you know, is just a number. I was hoping maybe it would play into my favor, but it did not. So went back, got the other level, got a big boost in agility, and forward march.
Yeah, very nice. And I know you were heads up against just Tristal, but out of all 4 runners on stream, you were the only one to keep the starting key, which was very nice for you because you never went out and found all those other locations, which were way out there past Sharlock, to be able to find more keys. You didn't have to worry about diving grave or doing any of that. So that really worked in your favor here.
My thinking with the starting key situation is if I give up the key, it's gone forever. But if I keep the key, see what's going on with the map, how the strength progresses, if I change my mind and I want to go get the fairy water and the gold from the treasury and not keep the key, I can go and do that at any point. Might cost a little bit of time, but once I give up the key, it's gone, and I don't know if I'm going to find another key in 5 minutes or an hour, so keeping that starting key is very valuable to me.
Yeah, very nice. And meanwhile, our other race wrapped up here. If get some GGs out in chat for Cyberdark with that Green Dragon there. Did go ahead and call it. But we have both ArchfieldMonk and Cyberdark. GGs to you both, Archfield. How you feeling about that one?
There were probably some ways to win that race, and I think I picked my least favorite way to play that seed. When it occurred to me that I'd burnt the key and we were way down in the southeast corner, I just regretted it the entire race. I don't know that I necessarily felt behind because it's impossible to tell how a seed like that one is going to play out, but it didn't feel good at any point.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We had nice divergence all the way around. You lost the key, got the fairy waters. Cyberdark had done a decent gold grind, as had Tristal in the other race. And then Destiny, as we were just mentioning, had kept his key. So he was able to clear out all the key checks along the way. That took you guys forever since you had to go so far out to find your keys. But It was very interesting, Archfield, because you had that bamboo pole once you finally picked that up. Meanwhile, Cyberdark did have a flame sword. He had grinded enough gold and was able to get the Garanham with the money. But you guys maintained experience until the very end. It was really tight.
Yeah, what level did I end on? I can't even remember.
You finished on 16. Cyberdark took a gamble on not checking chords and diving Sharlock and just getting some extra levels. Did end up at 18, which had some nominal gains, especially in the HP and agility departments.
Yeah, I didn't check coordinates. I didn't dive grave. I'm assuming Death Necklace and Sword were somewhere.
Yeah, so chest 4 of grave was the Death Necklace, chest 5 of grave was the flute, and coordinates were our sword.
Cool.
Yeah, so anyway, to interrupt real fast, get some GGs out in chat for Tristal. He also found out all the fun that Sharlock has to bring after getting womboed by an Axe Knight, has decided to go ahead and throw in the towel as well. Very well played on his part, just a long delay finding that armor, not moving north, definitely was a detriment to his ability to move around the overworld. So yeah, we'll get some quick thoughts from Tristal here, who just joined. I've got too much on my screen. GG's, how you feeling about that one?
Yeah, that was quite the Blue Dragon bottleneck there for a while. I was really curious if my early gambit would pay off, and it not really. Like, it just conspired to make it not happen. If I had early Flame Sword, though, woo, that would have been interesting. And also, if I had found coal, one tile above the path for so long, one tile. Oh, but alas, didn't get it until like 50 minutes in. So yeah, as soon as I saw that, I figured, yeah, this had to be pretty over. Although 2 metal slime kills.
Yeah, and it was humorous because I didn't realize it was just literally the one tile. And like the last time you were going that way, I was like, chat, please will Tristal to go north this time. And you took one step and you see the town. I was like, oh my gosh, it was that close. I knew it was there, but I didn't know it was that close. But yeah, slightly behind Destiny for sure. About, I would guess, 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I mean, I was kind of one-track mind once I had seen South Swamp to try and get back there, but I think I died trying to get back there maybe 7 or 8 times and just wouldn't let up.
And like you mentioned, you definitely had probably the worst RNG out of all of our runners tonight with those blue dragons, especially early on. Just trying to leave that initial zone, you just were constantly getting set back by them.
This was kind of a good example of Tristla, because I had that horrible luck that you saw, but I also had incredible luck. When the first time I had the gold on the way into the town, I ran away from a blue dragon super early on, and I was just like, oh man, this is Destiny. And no, Destiny happened to me. Then I went into the shop with 9,600 gold, and I'm like, oh, that flame sword would look so good in my scabbard. And no, Demon Knight ate me alive outside, and then it took me like 3 or 4 tries just to get back, even to try and pick up chainmail and a large shield. So that was pretty brutal too. But yeah, like, had I seen metal slimes early, that might have been a very interesting purposeful grind there. But by the time I had seen them, I kind of felt like that wasn't going to be a useful grind. Although getting the first one I got was just so much of a confidence booster. Like, I felt like I was already way behind, and then that one was like, 10 metal scorpion kills basically, which was about the optimal enemy I could kill at that point. So finding those gave me a little hope that maybe that choke point was killing Destiny as well. And then like late on in the game, I found Stonemen there too. So I'm just like, oh man, there's actually a pretty good chance we're having the same problem, but apparently not.
Yeah, I'd say Destiny probably was the one runner that stayed back from trying to press out the most. And Destiny did get into that zone with Magi Wyverns using sleep and taking them down for a bit there. Did nail a few medals along the way, although their baby breath was a little bit obnoxious, especially pre-armor and pre-big HP jumps. But yeah, he stayed back. He was the last of all 4 of the runners to push out from that starting area.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, do I actually have to heal more against these metal slimes? And yeah, I did a couple times, and it even paid off once, so.
Yeah, so let me jump back to the top race between Archfield and Cyberdark. So I gotta ask, do you guys have like a side bet going here? Does the loser have to do additional admin duties?
No, I don't think we've talked about that. Actually, I think both of us are on vacation at the moment.
Yes, we are.
Nice, that's awesome, actually. Well, both of you, as seasoned admins, just make Aaron have to do something then.
Oh, Aaron already does so much work. Like, and really, I mean, all the admins do so much work, but Aaron's out there getting things done all the time. Just this feels like a good opportunity on air to tell all of my fellow admins how much I appreciate them. They do a great job, and High Spirits, who is restreaming Spirits tonight, is included in that.
Hear, hear.
No, I absolutely agree. As someone that isn't an admin but reaps the benefits of our admin team, I think it's been mentioned in Discord and on streams in the past. You guys do a fantastic job. This community is just absolutely outstanding, and I think it's what drives the amount of viewership we have, the amount of growth we've seen from various just outstanding players. As we see, Destiny of a Dragon Warrior tonight, 126-14, one of our newer runners to this community, right? Just showing how well we're growing this area. So it's fantastic. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it's super awesome. The training tournament, I think, was a big part of that, and then just to see all the new players come into the tournament and equip themselves really well is great. But I got to tell you, I mean, it makes our jobs are pretty easy because we do have a great community, and that's thanks to all of you. So thank you.
So, Aaron, you have any questions or thoughts for us before we get some final thoughts from the runners?
Just trying to dodge all the praise there for a moment, but no, I think this is a pretty well-run race. A lot of difficult decisions with all of that nonsense that was in the way, and it's always fun. Like, you know, we joke about it, agility being a number, but like it was a
Why
number
didn't I go strength agility?
I was thinking I gotta say, I was thinking the whole race, Cyberdark's on strength agility. This could be really good for him. And then it turned out you didn't run it looks like?
No, I didn't. Sorry, Aaron, for the interruption.
Yeah,
no, I was just thinking, like, you wouldn't have got 0 bonus from that because you don't gain bonuses till once you break like 20, and agility didn't break the 20s for like half the game. I thought I was going to actually say the opposite, like it was prescient, like you knew agility was just not going to exist, so there was no reason because you would have gained like 1 point until like level 11. Definitely would have helped at the end though, but yeah, whatever. I don't know if that would have changed much. I know you did have a pretty rough first dive, but Axe Knights were just a pain.
Yeah, I didn't find that out until I was grinding for 17, and then I got 18 on the second dive, and I just couldn't run from anything, and I'm not used to that.
I'm sure it doesn't make that much of a difference, but the moment you don't use it, it's probably in your head. Like, I should have just the whole time, every time you run fail, like, only added a Y to my name. But yeah, anyway, again, this was game 1 of the best of 3 for both of you. When are you guys playing next? Do you know?
Archfield and I are playing at noon Eastern tomorrow.
Yeah, less than 12 hours from now. No, that's not accurate. 18 hours.
No,
from now.
a lot of hours.
More hours. I'm on the East Coast right now, and I'm usually on the West Coast, so I can't count time anymore. My brain's toast.
Tristal and I are scheduled for Sunday at 7 p.m. for our second race, where Tristal can have luck swing back his way, and we can push it to a third race.
Well, I'm never going to say I hope so in a situation like that, but it would definitely be a fun race. This first one was very interesting too. Honestly, if you guys watch this back, the top 2 race, Cyberdark and Archfield, was just incredibly different from the bottom race and just the way that you guys played. And honestly, Tristal and Destiny, you had very similar ideas. They just didn't turn out the same way.
Yeah, it should be an interesting rewatch.
All right. I don't know if... Do we have the schedule ready for tomorrow, or I can just tell everyone? I have it open. All right, so yeah, we have the race tomorrow at noon between ArchfieldMonk and Cyberdark86. Still looking for help for that. If you're someone who's available at noon on whatever day of the week it is, is it Thursday? I think
Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday. Wow. And then at night we have a race at 9 o'clock. Arctorias 308 versus EMP. Any amount of money. That is game 2 as well. So. Keep an eye out for that. As hopefully we can get that one restreamed too.
All right. Well, thank you very much to High Spirits for restreaming. Who have we got here? Aaron and DK, I think. My Discord screwed up. For commentating, and Omega and Shihali for tracking.
Yeah, thank you to all the admins and the volunteers. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys as well. It was a fantastic race to watch. So hang tight. We do have another race a little bit later coming up on DW Randomizer. But for now, we're going to be sending over the Synth Pop is back. He's doing some Dragon Warrior 4. So hanging out with Synth Pop for a while. Give him some love. We'll see you back at DW Randomizer at 9:30, I do believe.
Peace.